Hi, it's Renee Michelle. I'm here with Spiritual Awareness, my one of my series here on YouTube, for to help us help ourselves become happier, blissful people. And I did part one of this. I thought it was going to be 3-part series, but they just told me 2, so we're gonna just do 2. Um, Spiritual Awareness for this one is the chase, right? We are chasers, especially the abused. And abusive too. They're both chasers, right? We chase after things. When someone doesn't want us, don't like us, we feel like we have to make them, right? And we stay in situations and relationships trying to prove ourselves to these people. Mm? So if your man is abusive and says that you're too fat, you try to be skinnier, and still he has a problem with your weight, and you're walking around like a toothpick, and he still says you're fat because it's abuse, and you keep trying to do everything perfect for everybody so that everybody loves and likes you. This is from abuse and from lack of self-esteem and self-worth, right? And we're rebuilding our self-esteem, and we're rebuilding our self-worth, right? So when we get into relationships with people that are abusive, we're looking for acceptance, because our parents didn't think we were worthy enough. Because if they did, then why did they abuse us? Why did they make our self-esteem so low? Why didn't they help us in these sexual abusive situations? So we have this low self-esteem, and then we have somebody that's beating on us just like our parents, so we want their approval too. The manipulative friends that take your money, you want them to like you, to be your friend, to stay around, right? Stay around because they just need time. They need time to see how special and wonderful you are. Right? Why can't your parents see how special and wonderful you are? And how great you are? They just need time. Right? And when they ignore us and when they don't do what we think they should do, we end up chasing. Right? I want to be your girlfriend. I'm not interested in you, but I'll be your friend. Right there, that's abuse. You don't need to be friends with somebody that ain't interested. If you're interested in them on a relationship level and they're not interested in you, that's the end of that relationship. Because anything after that is abuse. Because they'll draw you in, then they'll try to get money out of you. And everything else. And then when it comes to the relationship part, and you mention how you still care and all this other stuff, and the way they touched you the last time y'all were together, and they'll say, no, I'm not interested in you that way, but I'll call you tomorrow. That's abuse. And that's you chasing them because you want them to see this wonderful person. Right? Just like you wanted your parents to see this wonderful person, and no matter how hard you tried, they still shitted on you anyway. Right? So we spend our lives in these circles and these relationships that we can't let go of. And part of the reason why we can't let go for real is because we cannot be okay with the fact that they just don't like us. If somebody don't like you, okay, they don't like you. That's their issue, not yours. And when you make it your issue, that's when you start to be abused. That's when the chase starts. Right? So really, letting go for real is about understanding that this chasing that you're doing, right? Because if I stay just a little longer, they'll see the error of their ways and understand that if they change themselves, we can have a blissful life and be happy forever. Waiting on them to see that you're worthy enough not to be cheated on and not to be manipulated and all this other stuff. But understand this, they're not in the same frame of mind. They're about using you to make themselves feel good, and it has nothing to do with you as a person. It just has to do with you taking what they have to give. So let's get into the chase. The main concern, right? This is the chase. The Hierophant, right? First of all, the main concern for a lot of y'all is the children in your relationship. And how they see you handle relationships and how they see you keep trying to do everything that the abusive person says and it's still not enough. The main concern is that you're not growing as an individual. You're not moving forward with your life and being happy and content. This is a card of learning. You're not learning from this experience. You're staying in the circle. You're staying in the cycle. You're not understanding that it's going to always be this way because it always has been exactly the same way. So you are hoping for a different outcome. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So there's a level of insanity in abuse. Because no matter how the abuser abuses you, it's all about you trying to get to them to the level to understand the gem, the diamond, the ruby that you are. But it cannot happen because they're not using you for that purpose. They're using you to make themselves the diamond and the ruby and the emerald. So you two are not even on the same page ever. From the beginning. It's about them using you to become full and whole and fill the emotional and spiritual void that they have in themselves. So they're not really concerned about, it's not really about how it makes you feel, except for the fact that it gives them power. And what you have to learn and what has to be done is that you have to understand that no matter how you go about it, if they are not at the point in their lives where change is ready to happen, you can't do anything to make it happen, because everything that you have tried every option, you have done everything, you have did everything that you possibly can, and they cannot see. And the reason they cannot see, because it's for them, the abuse is not about you. It's about filling their own void, and it's about them. They're being very, very selfish. They cannot see your point of view because it's not relevant to them. They don't care. You're incapable of truly loving someone if you cannot love yourself. Right? So abusive person is really, really, really does not love themselves. So when they say they love you, they love what you give to them, the power, the strength, the self-esteem, the self-worth. What you fill them with to keep them going on an emotional and spiritual level. So looking for this acceptance, chasing the abuser, for this acceptance, for this acknowledgement of how you did everything for them, you always were good to them, you did everything they needed, you did everything they asked for, and there's it seems to be no appreciation, because that's not what they're about. They're saying those things to you to have the power to manipulate you into keeping your hair long because it makes you look prettier. And then when you get it long, they tell you you look ugly with long hair. It's all about the power. It has nothing to do about how special or how wonderful you are. It's irrelevant. So the primary concern here is that you're not understanding and learning that this relationship is not based on you. It's based on them and their needs and their wants and their desires. And if you want self-worth and self-understanding, you have to give that to yourself first before you expect it from others. You have to build your self-worth. You have to build your self-esteem. You have to say, I'm good at this. I'm a good person. I deserve more and I deserve better. Looking for people on the outside world, friends, associates, to understand and see the good person that you are is you giving them the power. These are the things you have to learn. That self-worth and self-esteem comes from within. You have to believe in you. If you don't believe in you, if you don't believe you're worth it, then how are you going to attract people that believe that you're worth it? You can't. Why are we seeking help? Oh, because these nasty motherfuckers is just dominating our world. Right? Arrogant, nasty, hurtful. On all walks of levels. You have friends and associates that do the same thing. That just say, they feel like they can talk to you anyway. They feel like they can do whatever they want to do. They feel like they can say whatever they want to say. Don't worry, she'll be back next week. All I got to do is call and say, hey, girl, you know I missed you, and that's all I got to do. These viruses, these diseases of negative energy and negative people that are consuming your energy and consuming you. Some of y'all are down and depressed all the time because even if you lift yourself up, even if you took a hot shower, got up that morning, put fresh clothes on, soon as you turn the corner to walk out there to the kitchen, here he come. Here she come. Your mother telling you, ooh, you gonna wear that? That's abuse. That's how you gonna do your makeup? You can't find no better shoes to wear? How much weight you done gained? Abuse. Girl, you know you ain't gonna, you ain't gonna never leave him. What for? He got a good job. They're not for you. They're abusive because they're letting you stay in an abusive situation so they can feel better about themselves. It's not about you. It's not about you. And you keep chasing after them for this approval that they're incapable of giving you. They cannot. They cannot even say, oh, that sweater's nice. That t-shirt you bought over there, that has a cute saying on it, I like it. They can't say things like that. They're not in your world to make you happy. They're in your world to make themselves happy, to make themselves feel good about them. I'm telling you to go within to replenish your self-esteem and self-worth and not look for people on the outside. They're using people on the outside to replenish their self-worth, but they're doing it in a very mean and negative way. And y'all have to understand that. Because if you don't, then you're just going to continue to chase after something and chase after the approval that you're never going to receive from any of them, no matter whether it's family, friend, associate, lover, husband, wife, girlfriend, sister, brother. Not going to happen. Because bowing to you diminishes their self-worth immediately. What are your concerns or fears about this chasing? It's the walking away. It's the letting go for real, right? Because this is the fool card. It's the taking a chance. It's the chance, right? We fill our minds with what ifs. Well, if I leave him, then what about the kids? What about him? I don't understand someone, and maybe y'all can email me and break it down. How someone that grew up in abuse and watched their parents abuse and were abused by their parents can let their children go through the same thing and think it's okay. And think that their children will grow up and live happy and full lives. Well, if I leave, then, if I stop talking to her, then, who am I going to talk to? You're going to talk to yourself. You're going to pray to your God, the God of your understanding, for new and good people to come in that are not going to try and hurt you and try and put you down to build themselves up. It's okay to be by yourself, because when you by yourself, you can give yourself self-affirmations. You can make yourself feel good about you and feel good about what you're doing and feel good about how you're helping your kids. And then you can grow towards having people come in that are more positive by weeding out the bad immediately. When your self-esteem and self-worth is low, anybody that you meet is got to be abusive. I hate to say that, because it's something that you guys should really understand and know. That the more you become 100% you and your self-worth and your self-esteem increases, the less chances it is of you attracting abusive people. Because abusers are not attracted to people with full and strong self-esteems. Because they have no use for them. If they can't diminish and deplete them to increase their own self-esteem and self-worth, what are they good for? So they will walk away from you immediately if you show confidence, or if you're confident and strong in you. So as you rebuild your self-esteem, you'll start to see less and less of these freaking leeches and snakes. They come in and suck you dry on energy, money, and everything else. And you'll start to be around more positive people, because the only people that are around you are the people that see you for your worth. It's a risk, but my goodness, I'd rather risk being happy than be miserable forever. What you currently unaware of. What you currently unaware of is that you're already on the move. If you watching this video, you already tired of the chasing. You tired, you ready to let go. You just don't know how to do it. It's about understanding and being aware of the fact that you need to just let go and cut the ties and not keep getting involved in this circular activity of replenishing their self-esteem and self-worth. That is no longer your job. They have to find somebody else. Best course of action to take currently in that sucker, the death card, and start anew, right? Because the death card is about something that you know should have been over a long time ago, or you've seen coming to an end, and it finally has come to an end. And it's also about you starting over with the new and improved you. Take that hatchet and slash that. Cut it. Cut them friends off. They're not serving you no purpose. You serving them a purpose. They need you. The best way to proceed now, upward and onward. The wheel of fortune, because now your wheel is turning up and it can't turn back down as long as you stay away from abusive people and replenish your self-esteem and self-worth. When you let these people go and you don't let them back in, you're going to feel so much better about you. You're going to feel so much more confident. And then you'll have the courage and strength to take on other things. To go back to school like you always wanted to do so that you can make more money, so that you can support your family, or so that you can start a family, whatever the situation is. As soon as you let go, you feel the relief and the strength in yourself to say, hey, if I can do this, there's so much more that I can do. It's endless. Wheel of fortune, the possibilities are endless. It's luck, it's chance, it's everything comes into fruition. Everything comes into play. Life was bad, but honey, once you make that choice, life is phenomenal. It moves forward quickly. How to handle this in the future? Don't be disillusioned. The moon card is about being don't act like you don't see the red flags. When somebody starts asking you for money, you tell them no right away. This is my money. I need my money. You know what I'm saying? When they start using you, you cut them off. Don't say like, oh, they just need me right now. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't make an ice cream sundae out of a pile of shit. They shit. Let them go immediately. Oh, well, I only knew her 2 months. Maybe I need to get to know her a little more and she'll be a better friend. Bullshit. No. Especially anybody that if you letting people go now that you're in contact for the next year, they're all tests. They're all there so you can get your muscle up, you know what I'm saying, about letting people go at the right time. Right? About respecting yourself. The people that you see now in the next year is about giving you the confidence and the self-esteem and the self-worth to say, you know what? You ain't right for me. I could tell already. Let me get out of here. There goes your self-worth. Goes from here to here. Self-esteem, here to here. Every time you acknowledge, recognize, you abusive person. You're abusive situation. Let me move forward. Let me move a little high. And every time you do it, every time you throw these fish back in the water, and this is with men too, this is with women too, that you want to be in a relationship. Every time you throw them fish back in the water, your self-confidence and your self-worth and your self-esteem just higher, until you don't have to throw them back no more because you're meeting people that are on the same level as you, who have the same self-esteem and self-worth, so they can be in a relationship with you and not be intimidated by your beauty. Not be intimidated by your intelligence. Not be jealous and intimidated by how hard you work, by your car, by anything that you do that is positive and productive. And when you do something positive, they're like, bravo. And when they do something positive, you're like, bravo. And now you're in a good relationship. So what happens if you do? Renee, I'm gonna try it. Let's do it, right? There's a sense of balance. Everything starts working together. The train starts moving because now you got if it's a steam engine, you got all you need. You got the oil, you got everything, you got all your cars. The train is moving. The engine is going. Everything is balanced. You know what I'm saying? Everything ties in with everything else and you feel good. Isn't she gorgeous? Because everything is flowing perfectly, evenly, nice. That sense of self, that sense of groundedness, that sense of self-worth and self-understanding and knowing who you are. and no longer being defined by the people around you. You define who you are. You start with you. Everyone else in your life is secondary. I hate to say it, even your kids. You can be like, Renee, your kid. Right, because if you don't learn who you are and be grounded in who you are, then how are you going to teach them to be who they are? How are you going to be the example that you're supposed to be? Because the number one example, whether parents accept it or not, is them. Thank you for joining me for Spiritual Awareness, The Chase. All right, guys, see you a little bit later for the weekly readings. Got surprises. Stay blessed and Ashe.